Hey guys, I know, looks a little different. Probably looks a lot different. And the camera focus is so good, it probably feels like that's a fake background. It's not. It's really not. This is where the new desk is. Those of you who've been following me on social media, even here on YouTube or even over at on Patreon, you've got some pictures of seeing like the progress. I took some quick video prior to moving everything around, and I will be taking more video when I'm completed everything. I'm very, very close to getting everything done. The only thing left to clean off is the former desk, which is the kitchenette here, which will be my B-roll photography area. So those of you that follow me on Instagram that like the He-Man and Skeletor little cartoons that I do, they're about to step up. Might even see them in some video form. Haven't decided yet, but super excited to be streaming from this desk at this point in time. It has been a very long time coming. Those of you that have been with the channel since its relaunch in July of last year, so we're coming up on 9 months since that happened. We gestated and we've given birth to a new baby. It's pretty interesting to me. Just for reference, the camera is a foot lower than it was over there relative to me sitting. So I'm not looking up at the camera like this now. I'm just looking at the camera more or less at eye level. So it's a lot easier to maintain eye contact with this thing for sure. I want to say hi to everybody in chat. I see Brendan Haley. What's up, mate? I see Bjorn Jorgensen, of course. I see Jason Garcia. Sir, thank you again for your patronage. No pun intended. Ian Sweeney, I see. Kieran Ball, Toy Connection. Hey, Ken, I hope things are well in your world from our last conversation. Joe DeBecky as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the show. And Kieran Ball on the money. It's a boy! I could not do the Freddy Krueger reference on that one. But, Jason's like, too many changes, too many sensory overload. Fair enough. And those of you that are eagle-eyed might see over here that I actually have a toy shelf now. For the first time since I've been collecting toys in the last, again, 9 months, I have a toy shelf now. An actual living, breathing toy shelf. Castle Grayskull on there, and some Eternian guards, my Hush figures, bunch of Marvel Legends stuff, Action Force, which is kind of hard to see. I did take a picture earlier so I can show you a little more up close. It's just, it's a whole thing. Oh, what's up, Keith? How are you? Good to see you, man. Really good to see you. I am also surprised that I have a landline phone. This is technically a hotel. It's a studio efficiency suite thing, but they have phones in every room. If it were up to me, I would not have that phone. But it's a thing. It exists. So the whole thing. So I wanted to kind of take a second to kind of walk you through everything that's been done and what's coming. I know I've hinted at it in some streams. Patrons have heard this to death, but for everybody else, now that it's done, I want to kind of walk you through it a little bit, and then we'll be getting a video sometime in the next week or two. That's an actual kind of there's a whole process to it, is what I'm trying to say. And I'm making a video that kind of it's like a tour, but it feels weird to say tour when there's like one shelf and everything. But we'll be doing that. To answer your question, Ken, yes, the show is monetized now. That happened in February, I think. I don't remember the exact date, but it's been very cool, and everyone's been very generous, and I appreciate that. So yeah, I am. That's right. Should be able to complete your MOC. I remember me MOC thing. In about a week, depending on shipping. Fair enough. Cool. So the desk, matter of fact, I should just bring the damn picture up. That's what I should do. Make your lives easier, right? So you can actually see what we're dealing with here. Here we go. There we are. So for those that haven't seen it, you're going to get to see the desk here. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up here for you. Oh, perfect. We're already ready to go. Excellent. Let me just do this part. So I got that all cropped weird. All right, that'll work. Okay. So this is where I'm sitting. Okay. So I know it's a little weird to see like both sides, right? But prior to this was a dresser in the room is here. And this over here, this is where I have been streaming from and making videos from. Everything you've seen is there. And just 2-3 feet away is like a pantry that my back's up against. And so super cramped. You couldn't really move once you're in there. I had to split my legs between this built-in wood slat that was extremely uncomfortable. So just to have a real desk to sit at, a proper length and a proper depth for a desk is mind-blowing to me, to say the least. But that's one view. I'm going to give you another view here. We got the other side there for you, And that's where the computer sits. My Granzilla computer is down here. It was on the dresser with the one side facing this way. And then, do I have another one in here? Yeah. So I have, as you'll see, the Lego me right here. I've got Skeletor and He-Man hanging out. I've got a newly acquired Sully figurine that someone very close to me gave me, which is very cute. Of course, Landshark and Wind Raider all in full effect next to my Venom and Spider-Man mugs that I use for like the holders. Let me see if we can get a good picture of those. That's about as good as it's going to get. It's right there. But I've been using those forever, since 2020, and they just work for me. It's great. But for all intents and purposes, this is the way the studio is going to be for the foreseeable future until such time as I get a more permanent place to live and work. That's the goal. Now, I also wanted to show you the toy shelf, and I apologize if this picture is blurry. I didn't realize it when I took the picture until it was too late. But again, we've got a Castle Grayskull up here. There's an Iwo Jima toy monument that was gifted to me by our very own Epic Badger, which is great. Since this picture was taken, I added a bunch of books to the top of the Castle Grayskull because the box had some bulge in it. So that is not only tamping down that bulge, but it's a nice way to display those books. We've got just a slew of Marvel Legends back here. Carnage being right here. Tiger's back here. Baron Zemo's in that mix as well. But then I found my Hush Fit by Batman and Superman. So I decided to put those up. And then we got Action Force flanked by a bunch of classified in the back. Nothing crazy. It's certainly not. It's certainly not an exhaustive display by any stretch. Comparative to what else I have to display. Like right now, I can see a bunch of other boxed stuff right there that could go on there, rotate out. So I do think that what's eventually going to happen is that there's some of these figures are set to be unboxed for videos or just in general. I'm waiting on an order of poly bags to arrive. Once that does, I'll unbox what I want to unbox, and everything that remains will stay up there. And then I'll swap out for some stuff that I don't need to unbox, like my Flocked Panther, for example. Don't need to unbox that. Just put that up on the shelf. It'll look nice. And a couple other figures and things. And as I get things in, before I unbox them, like they'll have a little time to shine on the shelf, so to speak. And I know it's not much, but it's certainly better than what I had before, and it's certainly better than nothing. So I'm very, 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 very humbled and pleased this is happening. Zach wants to know if he can make out my studio hangover. Sure, absolutely can. Whatever you like. I am, in fact, tamping down the bulge in more ways than one. I've gone back to a pretty strict keto-friendly, keto-adjacent diet, and have been slowly going into pescatarian, vegetarian route in terms of food as often as possible, which is better for fiber and protein, stuff like that. Feeling very good, actually. And Jason Garcia asks, did you see the new Hasbro Spidey announcements? I did. You're dying for the Venom 2-pack and the Doc Ock 2-pack. I am as well. I'm particularly excited about the Amazing Fantasy first appearance Spidey, which is a dead to rights, 1-to-1, pretty perfect replica of a Steve Ditko Spidey. That's a must-have. Everything about that announcement was pretty good, except so far it looks like they're only going to be up on Hasbro Pulse, which is like, better than being HasLab, but that's not much better. And the Lizard Retro card, Walmart exclusive. I'm pretty pissed about that, to be honest with you. Because I've had some bad luck with Walmart pre-orders. Just canceling on me for no reason. Like they'll take the money, and then they give you back the money, and then they try to take it. It's weird. It's just weird. And I'm not happy about it. But it is what it is. It's what it is. So, when I get this other countertop, I'll call it the kitchenette table for now, there's a bunch of just random stuff on there. Most of it is trash. Some of it is cords and so forth. I had so much extra cabling in this spaghetti rat's nest over here of stuff I just wasn't using anymore. A friend of mine had come over to help me out to move everything, get the desk built and stuff. And she was very kind to wind the cable and make sure that it was tenable and stuff. So I got all that stuff. Once I got everything here, I am for the most part set up. I just went ahead and tossed those into a bin. Anything that's up here that I don't need is going to go in that bin as well. Clear the trash, and then I'm going to put the tablecloth on there so you have your nice blue. And there's also going to be a background that I can put up that's blue as well. It's actually like board that I can do. Plus, I also have the light box that was donated to the channel very graciously by Mr. Jim Largo. So, I would like to move forward with live streams not having the screen on them. I want to take kind of an informal poll to see how you guys feel about that. How does this look? Do you like this? And know that the feature videos will always have the screen there. Okay? Feature videos will always have the screen. Unless the video that I'm making doesn't call for it, obviously. Still, we'll have the table, the whole thing. And I'll be using this other table for the B-roll, which has the blue, so everything gets to match, and you have that nice, uniform, clean look. But for live streams, I feel like this makes more sense for the simple fact that it's more informal. You get to see what toys are on the shelf. I might even at some point do some kind of toy shelf cam or something. I don't know. He said, "What's a desk without the dude?" A desk. But I get what you're putting down there, Gerard. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Hey, Surf. Nice to see you as well. Hope everything's well in your world. And I'm gonna get, because I looked like they had 2 different packagings on them, so I'm gonna have to get like 3 of them. So I'll get whichever one is cheaper. I'll get 2 of those, and then get the other package, and just keep them up like that. Yeah, be good. So we got to vote in the positive for this for live streams. Thank you, Daniel Carhooden. Yeah. Thank you, Daniel. Sorry, my mouth's being weird. It's a whole thing. It's an entire thing, and it's good to see everybody. I'm very sorry that we didn't do the stream yesterday, but at 5:00, we were just 5:00 my time, which is when I normally do the stream. We were just getting the desk into place. I still had stuff to plug in. I was tired. I was sore, and the place was a fucking mess. So I was not in a place to stream at all. So it was better for me just to go, we're going to push this back. And then, because I wanted to make sure we went live as soon as possible, given everything, because I knew you guys would be excited to see this. So, cheers. But I have all the stuff, or most of the stuff, on my desk that I had before. And those of you that have been following the saga of Buddhazilla, I think he's a goner, guys. I can't find him anywhere. I think he fell into the trash. And I didn't realize it. And I feel awful. And Nerd Rage, if you're watching this after the fact, or if you're here now, I will gladly pay the cost of material to reprint that guy exactly as he was, and pay for the cost of shipping to have him back here in the studio where he belongs. There's a spot for him right over here where he will be safe. I will never disrespect him again. But otherwise, I have pretty much everything. You guys saw the little side here. I also have the sundial that Jim Largo got me from Guatemala. I've got a Spider-Man voodoo doll, which I'm going to show you here in a minute. I've got my plushie Spider-Man right there. 10 years ago, not quite 10 years ago, so 2014, someone was going to get me a voodoo doll as a gift, like a custom voodoo doll of whatever character, and they tried to get me a Godzilla one. Well, the artist was having a very hard time approximating the fins on the back of Godzilla. They just couldn't figure out a way to make it work. So I said, the person who was getting the gift said, "Well, what else could I get you? Because they won't do that." And I said, "How about a Steve Ditko accurate Spider-Man?" And this is what they got. This is handmade, one of a kind, only one in the world. I love this thing. It is just so cool. It's got a nice texture to it. It's hand painted, and it's beautiful. The spider is cut out of paper and kind of like glued into place. Otherwise, that's all paint, and I love that thing. It has a nice home right next to the computer at all times, although he just tried to knock over the sundial like a jerk. Like, why would he do that? I don't know, but he did. But I'm so unbelievably grateful and comfortable in this new space. I am very much looking forward to, shooting B-roll and getting more creative with the, for lack of a better term, the photography, the visual side of the show, where I'm not stuck having to be in this cramped space and I have to do it a certain way. And here I can move back, put the table at a place that makes sense, and have my discussion thing going on and be good. The table is right there, the screen is right there. If you can see that black pole right there, that's a stand for the background to go behind me. Prior to that, because I was right butted up against a pantry, I had it clamped there. So it's a little bit more finicky than I would like because it is on the stand. It's kind of hanging. But I've used those kind of stands before. They work just fine. It will be fine. I'm not overly worried about it. And yes, Coach Tron, welcome to the show. J. Jonah Jameson has one of those Spidey voodoo dolls as well. At least one, if not several, because that kind of guy would do that kind of thing. And Bill Wifta, hey, good to see you. Nice to be in your presence, sir. Just in the time that I've been cleaning stuff up, like, for example, before, I had these 4 storage bins stacked. On top of that, I have my boxed Darkseid Destroyer vehicle from Superpowers in a box, and the Castle Grayskull, and all the box toys that weren't fitting in bins just kind of higgledy-piggledy all over the place. All of my clear display stands were stacked in weird configurations, so I would have access to them. So getting one bin down was a gigantic chore. Now I just take the Darkseid Destroyer box off, put it off the side, go for the bin, get what I want, put it back, done. And I will have this big, tabletop to actually, be able to move stuff around, stuff like that. Toy organization streams will definitely still be a thing. I'll be able to put a bin here, have the table here, and put a bin there. We can talk through and do the bags and do the whole thing. It'll be a little bit easier to do. Those are never going to go away. Don't worry. Might end up doing one of those this weekend, provided that the bags do arrive, which they should. I've got another big box from Big Bad sitting at the post office box, the UPS store box, whatever you want to call it, at the box, which has some Motu Origin stuff in it, among other things. I'm very excited about. So, everything in that box I want out of their packages badly. And another little poll for you while I have you all here. How do you feel when I'm doing like an overview of a toy? Do you care about the package? Do you care? Like, do I have to keep it in the package before I do the video? Or do you like seeing the package and then doing the thing and then open it up? Like, it's well-worn territory on so many channels. Channels I respect, channels that I watch myself. But I feel like for what I do, I don't think that I need to do that. I don't think I do. But if you guys really like that and it makes the whole thing, let me know. Let me know. Connor Fuller says, hey, here to see the new place. Hope you all settled in. Well, I'm in the same place, but I got rid of a lot of furniture that was already in here and got my desk here. So it feels like a new place. Definitely feels like a new place. But I am very much settled in. There's more to do. But yeah, doing good. I'm doing good. Bjorn likes a good unboxing. Ian Sweetie says, for Motu Origins, yes, others no. So for Motu Origins, you're saying, I don't care if you open it up. For everything else, you're saying, I want to see the package. Fair enough. Fair enough. So with that kind of a thing, I mean, it sounds like people are skewing towards, we'd rather see the package for the most part, which is okay. It's not going to hurt my feelings to do it that way. Other way around? Oh, okay. So you're saying for Motu Origins, you do want to see the package. Everything else, you don't care about the packaging. Okay. And Jason Garcia says, openings are only important if you're doing the live unboxing features and you only show the box. it's okay to have a figure free from it. That's an interesting concept because you guys know that I'm pretty handy with the cutter. So I can at least show the card back. Would that be a nice middle ground? If I save the card back or packaging to show you, like, here's what it looks like. Um, the figure was in there. Like, I don't know. Eh, I don't know. I'm not sure where I'm going with it yet. Because to be fair, the stuff that I get that's in the package is going to go up on that shelf for a while anyway, right? So why not, when I'm ready to unbox it, why not just shoot the damn video and cut the thing open? That's probably what's going to happen. That's probably what's going to happen. It's nice to see everybody chilling, relaxing, meeting friends, stuff like that. It's good. It's nice to see everybody together, with that Iconicon vibe, as we've talked about in the past. Again, not that I'm actually part of Iconicon, just it's similar to vibe to that. So, and I'm glad to see everybody. This is good. This is fun. This is good and fun. And I don't have anything to drink tonight. I mean, I have stuff. I could make a drink later, I suppose. But I just wanted to come hang out with you guys. So this is going to be an informal Q&A kind of thing. If you got something you want to ask, throw it up. We'll see what we can do. But just to give you an example, like with the toy bins that were stacked before, they were stacked in such a way that they were horizontal, so their sides were out of the wall. And because of how close they were to the fridge, I couldn't open the fridge all the way. And now I've got them over, a lot further over. I can open the fridge pretty much the whole way, which is an odd sensation. It's been a very, very long time since I've been able to do that. Bjorn, I'm not even bringing that question up, dude. Not even bringing it up. We're not going down that road today. No majestic questions, if you please. If you please, sir. Trying to see if there's anything. Yeah, my bingo bear's right there. I got to get him out from underneath there. I got to find a place for him somewhere over there. Like, if you can see that corner, there's a bunch of, like, linen stacked there. I got to get that out of there. But this is where it gets, like, I'm overwhelmed. Everything's great. I'm happy. But I see these little tendrils of it's not perfect yet, which can be annoying. But I've been running around so much the last couple of days, my back is starting to really hurt. So I have to be conservative with my back and everything else. Bjorn says he found out a surprising number of animals are anatomically correct. Yeah, I did say last week with Melvor that I would do a video on anatomically correct toys. So I said I'd do it. We'll do it. Not even a reference to your Discord custom? The stream ender? I mean, there, I just referenced it. That was pretty cool, man. It was pretty cool. It was good. So weird to be streaming on a Tuesday because it feels like Monday didn't happen. So like Monday was an extra Sunday or something. And then today, it's weird, but it's good. Like I'm okay. I'm a man out of time, And some of you might notice that the camera fidelity is a little bit better. Even though my connection's pretty bad right now, so it's probably not up to snuff. But in terms of when it does shine through, the way that this room is, because I have a more depth of field and the light gets to hit the way it's meant to hit, things just look better. They just look better. And I was talking with Jim earlier today about some possibilities of some like wall hangings or some kind of something in between those two light sources to kind of unify it back there. I don't know. We'll see if it works. It may not work at all. We're gonna try though. We're gonna try. We're gonna try to do some things. So the whole thing. That is a whole thing. But yeah, you guys were talking earlier about the Spider-Man Hasbro announcements. All the figures they announced are really cool. I question some of the 2-pack decisions, like, are you putting Venom in with this other guy because you just want me to buy this guy, even though I don't necessarily care about that figure? Probably. The Spider-Verse stuff being exclusive to, I think, Target is like weird flex. All right. Because I kind of want a Spider-Ham. I kind of want one. Because Spider-Ham. Hello, Spider-Ham. Please, gimme. But we'll see. I don't know. I know that I'm getting all the traditional Spidey stuff. I'm definitely going to get the Ned and Peter Parker 2-pack. Have to. Because I love that version of the character. So it makes too much sense to get that. They didn't announce that today, Bjorn. I've heard tell of this. They're doing a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man figure. But they didn't announce that today. So it's still in that rumor mill place, leak, if you will, which is fine. You know, stuff's going to happen. But until it gets announced, I'm kind of like, well, we'll see, I guess, you know. But that's a lot of Spider-Man stuff coming out. And, you know, pre-orders on Big Bad are starting to roll in. Like today, I got notice that my Alley Viper pre-order was about to pull, and I was like, and I looked at him. I looked at him again. I looked a little bit closer, and I said, I don't need an orange fucking Cobra guy. And I just canceled it. I didn't care. I didn't want it, so I canceled it. I am still getting the Bat, though. And I'm happy about that. With classifieds, I am getting to this place where I can't pull everything. You know what I mean? I want certain things, and I love Cobra to death, but when they start going to those wacky-dacky colors, I'm just like, what's the point? You know, then again, you've got like the Dreadnoughts and Crocmaster, and I'm all on board for that, so maybe it's not a consistent approach to collecting these items, but I like them. I enjoy them. It's fine. But like the only thing, like I'm continuously cherry picking a lot of stuff these days. The only line, of course, that I'm not doing that with is Motu Origins. That's just a given. Which again, if someone said you could take one toy line, you know, to an island, it probably would be Marvel Legends stuff. To be honest, like Marvel stuff. Even though most of you are like, you're not going to take your Motu Origins? I'm like, I don't know. It's a tough decision. That's a tough decision. You know, and then of course I just looked over at my Godzillas and like, what about us? You know, but I don't know. That would be a tough decision, but I suppose I don't have to do that, so it doesn't bear that close of examination, I guess. But I'm looking forward to, you know, reorganizing the toys finally. I still need to do that thing with the bins I was telling you guys about, where I pick apart that one bin that has like Muppets, Marvel Legends, G.I. Joe Classified, just a bunch of different stuff in it, and separate it out, and then get all the Marvel Legends stuff in one bin, get all the freaking superpower stuff in one bin, you know, and then try to make heads or tails of it. And with everything that's been going on, I might need to get more bins, which is not a horrible problem to have, mind you. I just don't necessarily feel like it. I don't feel like it because there's just a lot of plastic flat around here, man. But it's been a whirlwind couple of days. You know, it started to feel real when I brought the desk in its box in here on Sunday. And then there's that part of my brain that goes, what? I hauled that disc all the way here. Am I gonna? Is he still gonna actually take the dresser out? And he said he'd be here at 10 a.m. And then half hour, 40 minutes rolls by, and I'm like, oh shit, did he forget? And I would just stick my hand out the door every few minutes to wait to see I could see him. I finally saw him at like 10:45, and I said, "Hey, are you still coming by for the dresser?" He goes, "Yep, just got to put out a couple fires, and I'll be there in about 45 minutes." True to his word, he showed up, took the dresser out. He had to unbolt the TV off of the dresser, then took the dresser and took this mirror I didn't want. Did a great job, and then it was like, okay, now I'm committed. I have to do this. Pull out all the pieces to the desk. And it's not an overly complex desk to put together. It's not. But they put these screws that are, and I'm not joking, they're like this long for the feet to go into the sides, which that's well and good. And they pre-drill a little bit. But I don't have a power drill. I had just a couple of screwdrivers, and I don't know if it's visible or not, but my hands got pretty beat up on them screwdrivers yesterday. It took me, well, us, because we were both doing it, like an hour to get those in there because it was just so much torque was required, and your wrist starts to fall apart after, a half hour. It's horrible. But we got it all done. And then they start pulling all these wires out, and they would just hold up like a ball of wires. Like, what is this? We got it done, and I'm happier, as I've said a billion times by now. And things are working well. Gerard says, "I'm taking my McFarlane Witcher figures to the grave. Don't hate me. Love the books. Video games way too much." Hey, everyone is like that. You have their thing. You have your thing. You want just the crocodile from Crocmaster? That's going to be the hard thing to get, but it won't be impossible. Jason goes, "To be young again, optimal wrist power." You're not wrong. Between drumming for a living all those years, using a computer in general, and then also the last 2 years doing it like this, because these tables have been elevated, right? So, like, I had to type like this. This is horrible for your hands. And just to have my hands at rest on a desk and type, it until you've had to do a thing in a very non-ergonomic or non-natural way for 2 years to return to the way it's supposed to be and be comfortable. I almost cried like 3 times last night just from being able to just type and type comfortably and not be like doing this crap. It's so integral to what I do here and my job and everything in between. It's insane. And The Batman came on HBO Max the other day. I watched it for the first time last night. Loved it. I'll be putting out a video review of it sometime this week. It's not going to be a heavily edited video. It's going to be my opinion. I won't show too many stills from the movie or anything like that, but we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. It's a good movie. Stephen S. says, "I really want a vintage diecast Argo toy from Star Blazers." Nice. Star Blazers. And the other ships from the show. That would be cool. I didn't know they made those. That'd be great. And Keith Knight says, "I have pretty bad arthritis in both hands now. Thanks, bass guitar." Like, yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because every time I pick up a bass, I'm like, ow, that just hurts. It hurts. And I've been having to, I iced my wrists last night. They're still pretty swollen up right now. And I'll probably have to take an anti-inflammatory later on between my back and these. Not a spring chicken anymore. In fact, 5 weeks from today, it's my 45th birthday. It's crazy, right? Like, how does one get 45? Like, when does that happen? It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. You just found my package, but you thought you sent. Well, there you go. It's okay. It happens. Trust me. I know. When I was going through to find stuff to send to Largo, um, like, I knew what I had to send him, and I knew where it was. What I had forgotten was the other things that were in those boxes. Like, whoa, like there's stuff in there. You're like, so it's something where you're discovering things, and it's almost like an archaeological hunt. It's kind of crazy. Like, I enjoy it, but it's a little disheartening. And again, to have a wall of shelves like that and have all the toys out ready to go, just to have that that visual representation, so you're like, okay, I do have that. Okay, cool. That of course is the dream, and it's going to happen eventually. Things are going well in that direction. 45, 45, says Keith. Oh, how I long to be 45 again, young chap. Okay, all right, fine. And Bill Wifta also with I'm 51. The pain only gets worse. Thanks. That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. So that's why I'm, making it that much more of a concerted effort to take care of myself and hydrate and eat the right things and drink the right things and move around. Because the more I move, the better off I'm going to be. Right. And moving the bed the way that I did and having the desk here means I actually have a pretty decent little space here to actually exercise. Oh my God, and this is going to sound weird to some of you, but because the chair was right there, I'm right next to the kitchen. I would just wheel up to the kitchen to get a cup of coffee or open the fridge or something like that. Now I have to get up and walk to do those things. It's not a ton of steps, but it's more than I usually get in a day if I'm not, walking with purpose, which I do. Just, it's different to be able to get that little tiny bit back, because those of you that, we all were affected by 2020 and certainly most of 2021. It has negatively impacted my mental and physical health, and just to be in a space now that's configured so I have to do those things, it's already gonna be great. So and the moving and the shifting and the gahoy and the lifting, is it all done now? For the most part, Johnny. I got to clear off a couple areas, but for the most part, yes. For the most part, yes. Yes, it is. Kieran Ball, welcome to the latest episode of Grumpy Old Men. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Gerard O'Connor says lazyitis is a real thing. People, be careful out there. It's true. It really is. Like, they call it sedentary lifestyle. It's called not doing shit. It's 100% true. Kal-El, Steven, good to see you. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. But like, everywhere I look, there's toys. Like, on top of the fridge, there's toys. There's toys over there. There's toys over there. And just having any space to manipulate these toys at all. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm 27. I'm 27. I'm not old. I can't just call you man. You could say Dennis. Didn't know you were cold, Dennis. You didn't bother to find out, did you? Goodness. I hope everyone's doing well. I really do. I got a lot of videos to work on this week, too. Gotta work on some videos. There are some people out there like, he doesn't make videos anymore. Unsubscribe. which is fine. That's right. Get the hell off my lawn, kid. Oh, I love it. I love it. It's great. Again, if there's anyone here that hasn't subscribed to Gojitron's YouTube channel, uh, what are you doing? Go subscribe to Gojitron's channel. It's getting better and better and better and better. Love watching his stuff. Always catches every reference, every historical thing that's good without. He doesn't go off on tangents quite the way that I can. But he'll just be like, there's an interesting fact, and come right back to where he was. Really, really good stuff. Dude, Carl, you're doing great stuff, dude. Doing great stuff. Ozzy is here and just broke a tooth. Ugh. No fun. Sorry to hear that, pal. Hope you're okay. Kieran Ball. 50 is the new 30, but 27 is just old. And then there's that, I'm an old soul. No peg. You are very welcome, Gototron. You're very welcome. Thank you for making content. We have to have you on the show again. Jason Garcia says, I work with teenagers and they love to tell me I'm old. I'm like, dude, I'm not even 40. Goodness. Oh, it's fun to talk to you guys, man. It really is. It really is. You know what? I think I'll have that drink. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have that drink. I'll be right back. I was muted. We're back. See, the beer took much longer that time. I had to walk 8 feet to get it. I see there's a lot of people talking Tigers in the chat. They can't handle the pace. That's right. Can take a break from all social media, even YouTube? Hope not. We'd love to see you. We love to see you. And I hate to say this out loud, but it probably at this point would not be a live stream here in the Grind HQ if Bjorn wasn't talking about anatomically correct tigers, guys. It just wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be the same. So you may not like the tiger, but you'd miss the tiger. So be kind, be gentle. It's all good. It's all good. Cheers to you guys. Thank you for being a part of making this happen. Because, you guys have been supportive of the channel, whether just by watching or, super chats or being a member on Patreon. All of that goes into this, as well as just the, just giving me the drive to want to work better, to have a more efficient place to do what I do. And, the focal point of all of this change has been around the toy collection. And I wouldn't be collecting toys again if it wasn't for folks like yourselves. A lot of you were there in Iconicon when we were all experiencing that together. And that's what sparked me getting toys again. So I'm just saying. Thank you. I appreciate you very much. he said, clearing his throat. And like, I know I'm just keep going on about the desk, but again, 2 years of having this like uncomfortable square thing where there's no space to put anything. Steven, that's very kind of you to say. He says, I enjoy your channel. It's a relaxing time. That's awesome. That's the goal. You know, to when we do the streams, it's meant to be something fun, something to make you think, something to keep you calm. You know, not to start drama or any of that crap. Just to hang out and just be people that collect. So I'm glad. Kira said, don't blame us. I mean, there are some of you I could blame more than others, I suppose. Like there was at one point I was like, "There's no GI Joe in this house," and then there's a whole freaking shelf of them down there. You know, it. Even a year ago, if you'd have told me a year from now you're going to have more toys in your possession than you have had at any one time in your life, which this is true, because my parents would force me to phase out toys. I have way more toys than I ever did as a kid. Way more. I think Bjorn's hand just sneezed on the keyboard. I don't even know what that is about. I hope you're okay. But, you know, it's right time. Right time in my life. Right time in the toy industry, for the most part anyway. And the right community, you know. Jim said doo-doo. Yes, I did. I did say doo-doo. No, not C. Oui, Senor Inspector. I miss that cartoon a lot. Jason Garcia says, I enjoy this channel because it involves a lot of what I love of who I am. Toys, heavy music, Godzilla, and chubby dudes. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, I pulled this Anthrax hat. I forgot that I had a second bag of hats. We found the second bag of hats. I'm like, oh, I haven't worn this in a while. So I pulled that out. Ben Stutley coming in says, hi, Jim and chat. Listening while faffing about. Love you guys. Love you too, Ben. Glad to have you here. Nice to see you. Johnny Sorensen says, you're going to have more toys in the house soon. I already do. There's a lot of toys. And there's plenty of stuff in storage still. That stuff that's not going to make it in here, you know, until I have a larger place where it's a dedicated, you know, studio space and collection room and all that stuff. And that's okay. I mean, when you only have one shelf and it's that size, you can't put everything on it, no matter how much you might want to, right? Now, some of those toys are going to make their way into the studio to be shot and then go right back into storage. So there's that. Like the Snake Mountain is not going to stay here. It's going to come in. I'm going to restore it. We'll do a video of that, and then we'll do a follow-up, which, spoilers, I'll shoot it the same day, which will be a why I got this video, you know, and then it'll promptly go into storage, you know, as one does. World Made of Cardboard, welcome, sir. My local buddy just joined. Love the new setup. Thank you. Appreciate that. I was telling everybody that for live streams, we're going to keep it like this. No screen. Feature videos will still keep the blue background. You have exactly 4 hats, and 3 of them are captain's hats. Hey, everyone's different. Everyone's different. Jason Garcia says, sure you can. Lay the shelf down and just pile everything on it. Okay. Weirdo. Weird flex, but okay. Sure. Whatever. I'm just kidding. Did I... Oh! There's a new Transformer that just got announced today. It's from the Legacy line. And it's supposed to be Metroplex from the Transformers, which was a black and white vehicle that turned into a city. This new one is blue and white with just a touch of black. turns into a vehicle that's basically like got bulldozer feet. It doesn't turn into a city. And aside from the shape of his head, invokes nothing of Metroplex at all. Nothing. I want $200 for this guy. He's 18 inches tall. It's about that big, which is nice, but he's dumb. It's not Metroplex. It's a stupid ass Transformer design with a Metroplex head on it. And here we go. I'm getting corrected. I'm getting corrected. Gojatron says it's Metroplex from the 2006 Cybertron series. Okay. All right. But I had the original Metroplex. I don't see him anywhere. Where is he? Can a brother get a real Metroplex, please? Love Metroplex. Love that thing. Roman Corporate said, I lost all my hats cutting grass with a bush hog. They all got shredded. Oh, jeez. Goodness. Gerard purchased a band's hat. Every live gig you see looks stellar hanging on the walls of my house. I had it 2 weeks. Nice. Yeah, when I get the house, there are several different storage options I can think of. Like they have the over the door things you can put your hat in it. I like those. But I have so many hats, I don't know if one of those would be enough. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, to be honest. I have these bags that are specific to them and stuff, which is nice. But I want to be able to look at them and go, I want this one, kind of a thing. Kind of like how, Doctor Strange has those bunch of watches. I'd love to have like a little hat thing like that. What was my favorite childhood action figure line? It's got to be Superpowers collection, right? I loved Motu. I loved G.I. Joe very much. I loved Star Wars. But Superpowers collection just really hit the mark with me when they came out. I have the most memories of playing with them specifically. They were like the perfect toy line for me. Transformers, believe it or not, probably come in a close second. So I was in love with the Transformers cartoon. I loved the toys that I had. Played with them a bunch. Great stuff. Johnny said, remake of Cybertron Metroplex alt mode is mining from 2000 era. Gotcha. And does say, I agree though, very odd choice. Thank you. Johnny says, they made the giant old school 1G1 style Metro years ago in Titan scale. It's not great. Oh. Because what would be great, because I have all these little Transformers, like some of the ones that Carl sent, I bought a bunch more from like the tiny ones that actually transform and stuff. I got Shockwave the other day, who looks great, by the way. Have I seen the Spin Masters DC toys? I have not. What are those? If anyone finds an extra aerosol accessory pack for Final Faction, DM you. Well, I'm sure they're out there. I need to go to one of those stores in the relatively near future. I'm sure they'll have one, and I will be happy to send one your way, sir. But I have to go there first. Oh, there you go. Goji is already taking care of business. And I know he goes there. So... Oh, okay. So the Spin Masters DC toys are 3.75 scale DC figs. Okay. I haven't seen those yet. And because Superpowers Collection is actually a 4-inch scale, those won't scale with those. So that would kill my investment in the line. It's the same thing with the Marvel Legends 3.75. They don't scale with anything. I can't mix and match, which... that sucks. Like, I would love to be able to do that stuff, right? But it's just not something that's probably going to happen. Gerard O'Connor says, so much paint of my childhood Superpower Superman figure took that guy everywhere. Yeah. I have a long project ahead, repainting a lot of my figures. Because I want to. But gotta do it. It's gotta get done. Someone's gotta do it. Might as well be me. Woman at Carbon says the Spin Master DC toys are 3.75-inch scale, 12 POA figures, somewhat in that classic style. That's cool. It's really cool. But because I already have the Superpowers collection stuff, it's like, do I want those? Do I want them? And the answer is probably no. Because again, it's there's something about the Superpowers line itself. It's not necessarily the characters, right? Which is weird to say, but I do have. I've kind of looked at some of those, like the jumbo figures that came out, which are hard to come by now. Like I would love to get some of those on the minis. That would be cool. But they're so inconsistent to find at this point for me. It's like I don't want to get started and then not be able to get the ones that I want. Jesse Hughes, the Epic Badger. Howdy and hello. Just got off work. We'll rewatch later tonight. Okay. Have a good evening, sir. Johnny Sorensen says they're nice, but it's the post New 52 art costumes on the. But I'm definitely not interested. I don't know what the big thing is with always redesigning everything. I really don't understand. If it works, it works, right? The last costume redesign that I was like, that's pretty cool, was the Ben Reilly Spider-Man costume, because it was a different guy. He had to make his own costume. Like, I get it. When you make your own costume like that, and it's the 90s at this point, that made sense. But to just arbitrarily redesign stuff because, you know what, it's stale. I don't get that, because even with Iron Man, you've got the excuse that he's iterating on his armor, that there's a tangible difference in the costume based on what he is doing with his equipment. The other stuff, not so much. Like, why would Superman change his costume? Just baby blanket. Why would he change that? I don't understand. I don't understand. Oh, for those of you that didn't see it earlier, this is a new acquisition. I'm a big fan of Monsters Incorporated. And the friend of mine that helped me out with the desk brought that over for me to kind of christen it. It's pretty cool. Jason Garcia says, what? No love for Lightning and Mullet Superman? I mean, Hi, Andy. Nice to see you again with the TARDIS there. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for coming back. We appreciate you. But, I wouldn't be opposed to, like, just like I collect MCU and comic accurate characters, I would kind of like to have, like, Snyderverse Justice League characters in the 6-inch scale, as well as comic accurate stuff. Like, I've got the Superman and Batman from the Hush line back there, which are amazing. I love them very, very much. To see something similar in that scale with the other stuff. But the DC stuff in particular, the scales are so varied. Like, it's not even like Marvel Legends and Marvel Select where you've got the scale with some characters makes sense. Like Hulk and Venom are supposed to be taller, so it makes sense. But the DC stuff, in my experience, the scale tends to vary so wildly, and there's so many different versions of them between McFarlane and Mafex and all those other places. You're just like, there's like 3 different lines within, the McFarlane DC stuff. The Mattel, it's crazy, and it's hard to kind of hook on to it. Mr. Jim Salzberg, as I live and breathe. Good to see you, brother. Gojatron says, I collect silver or bronze age superhero versions only. Mostly anything after 1985 I'm not interested in. I get you on that one. In a perfect world, I'd love that stuff. But it's hard to come by in modern things. World Makeover, but they tried to make Aquaman hip as well, gave him a mullet. See, how is that trying to make him hip? Mullets have never been cool. Never really. Jason Garcia says, I know, right? McFarlane is weird obsessed with a 7-inch scale. I don't like it. I don't like it. The 70s style guy, DC Designs. Yes. I know exactly what. Gerard asks, my thoughts are on the Secret Wars line. Missed opportunity, honestly. I had a bunch of those figures as a kid. I had Doctor Doom. I had Doc Ock. I had Spider-Man. I had Captain America. I think that's all I had. I wanted the vehicles. I wanted the Tower of Doom playset. Never got them. Never got them. And at the time, if my mom was like, you can have a superpowers toy, you can have a Secret Wars. Like, I'm always going to go with superpowers because I knew that the Secret Wars toys were lame. But they had some of my favorite characters in there. So I was like, what am I going to do? Even having reread the Secret Wars comics recently, it doesn't really line up with the comic enough. And the figures were like 5 POA, kind of boring figures. I liked the Spider-Man in there. I liked the Doctor Doom that they had, but I never understood the lenticular stuff. It's a miss. It's a big miss. And it's, even though they're attainable, I just don't have the drive to get them. I don't. If someone showed up on my doorstep with, the entire first run, okay, like all the stuff that I had, plus the vehicles and everything, yeah, I would proudly display it. But I don't have the desire to hunt them down. That's what I think about Secret Wars. Jim had a mullet like Yarmir Yager from Penguins. Right on. Yeah, and he gets a pass too, because he's Yarmir Yager. Welcome to back to the show, Jim Largo. Glad your internet's back up. I hope it stays up this time. Jim's husband says, I have the whole set, even the European ones, and the vehicles they sucked. Only got them the mixed superpowers. Yep. The European ones are hard to come by and expensive. That's pretty cool that you got those. Jesse Hughes says, growing up in the mountains in the mid-'80s, all the kids in my class had mullets until we were old enough to form opinions and communicate words. Then no more. I can share a great 5-year-old pic on Discord. Cool. Totally agree on those shields. Like, what are you... And it's Jackie Chan picture, like, kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Jason Garcia says, as a kid, there were 3 options for boys: mullets, bowl cut, or rat tail. See, I remember people getting that stuff, but I would always get a part or a buzz cut. I was military family. That's what the thing. Doom's Tower was fun, though. I saw a boxed one on eBay a few months back, and I almost bought it. I'm like, why? Why would I buy that? Kind of goes back to that one video I did about asking yourself, do I need this? Like, do I actually want this? And that was one of those instances for sure. Jim says the European superpowers were expensive, but that was like 100 for all 3. That was like 100 for all 3. All are loots now, though. I gotcha. Okay. Right on. Stop doing that. Johnny Swordson. A Lego Tiger with a mullet and air guitar might be a fun set. As long as they get everything anatomically correct, I suppose. And Kieran is right. Kieran Ball is right, Jim. Just us old farts complaining about everything. Exactly. We're kind of complaining about stuff. We're like, yay, desk, yay, toy shelf. Secret War sucks, mullets. It's basically how it's been going. That's pretty down accurate. Jason Garcia was a good point here. I think the only time I respected a mullet was Kurt Russell and was Jack Burton. I agree. It's a good one. Call me Snake. He didn't have a mullet in that. He just had coiffed hair, you know. But in Big Trouble, like that was clearly a mullet. Clearly a mullet. So Bill Wift is asking what streaming software I'm using. All of them, in a way. I use OBS, Open Broadcasting Software, as my base for the camera. I use StreamYard so I can bring the comments up. It's really the only reason I use it. It's also easy for interviews, stuff like that. And because it really does allow me to use this pretty pithy connection, those are the main reasons that I use it. Because of my connection, I use Restream.io as a waypoint for Twitch. But typically, I prefer to stream directly from OBS. When I get into a place where I have better internet connection, I will still use StreamYard for YouTube streams. But I will be streaming directly to Twitch through OBS. OBS. Don't use anything else. Trust me. And don't use Streamlabs OBS either. I don't like the way that they do things in that program. It's not up to date. There's nothing that Streamlabs OBS can do that you can't do in OBS. Take a night and learn how to use it. And if you ever need help, let me know. I'm kind of an expert on that stuff. I would watch Captain Planet, Bjorn, when I was waiting for something else to come on. I wasn't a big fan of the show. I appreciated it for what it was. I just never got into it. So kinda. Where my carpet says, "Foot over the side trim looks like I got a haircut." I did get a haircut. I still have my long hair. I just got the side shave and the beard trim. Let me show you. I'll show you, because that's the kind of guy I am. Still got my hair. It's still here. It's growing. But yeah, the side got a fresh side shave on that. Which, I mean, it doesn't get much more 90s than that. A Jason Newsted mohawk kind of cut. And I mainly am doing that because the hair on top of my head is so thick that when it gets longer, you're not going to be able to tell it's a side shave at all. Because when it gets longer, it gets wavy and be like a Darth Vader helmet on my head. But good eye, yes, I did definitely get a haircut. See a few people talking Captain Planet. But Johnny Sorensen says, I didn't intentionally watch it, kind of similar to me, but I would buy modern toys if they did them. I might, because it's a limited number of figures. It would be kind of cool to have Captain Planet and all the kids. That would be kind of neat, in like a 4 or 5 inch scale, even 6 inch scale, even, you know. Best moment of the 90s, right? Bill Wifta says, did my first couple of streams the other day. First one was a clown show. The second was way better. Fair enough. Glad to hear that it's going well for you. And again, if you have any questions, concerns, comments, let me know. I'll be happy to help you out, buddy. And I'm sorry that I didn't know you were streaming. Matter of fact, were you on YouTube? Is that where you were? Well, that would be why I didn't know. That would be why. All right, folks. I'm going to ask y'all to do a thing for me. If you're not subscribed to Mr. Bill Wifta, click on that link there and subscribe to my boy. Same thing with Gojitron. Let me get a link for old Goji here. Hum, bum, 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 bum. That's him. And Mr. Gojitron. So if you're not subscribed to those two guys, you should do that. Bill Wift is an amazing resource. They're very similar in that regard. They have really good background knowledge on stuff. They do the research. Like Bill's blog, I know I gush about it a lot, but I learned so much from this guy. And I didn't even realize you were doing videos, man. I feel horrible. I know what I'm doing tonight. I'm gonna have a couple more of these beers, and I'm gonna watch me some Bill. That's what I'm gonna do. So, thank you, everyone that are saying that they've subbed. I appreciate that. Really do appreciate that. And these are good. These are good people. Good people. And as this has occurred, that now I'm much more comfortable in my own skin at a desk. We are going to start firing up the interview shows again, because sitting and talking with Melvor last week felt really good. So I really want to start bringing guests on again. I'd like to have Goji back. I'd love to get some new people on. I'd love to have, Bill Wift. I don't want to put anyone on the spot. Anyone like Jim Salzberg, the majority of you, I think, would bring something to the table, and you're all welcome if you want to come on. I'd love to have a solo talk with Pete again. Keith, for sure, would be great. I love talking with him. It's been too long since you and I have been on video chat, mate. It's been too long. Hit me up. Hit me up. And yes, don't forget to like. The like button is real. It helps the channel. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. If I was a typical YouTuber, I'd say there's 22 of you in here and there's only 17 likes. Why is that? Well, there you go. Bill is up for being on the guest list. So I will contact you somehow, some way, in the relatively near future. We'll get it set up. It'd be great. And now it's the record. We're going to chat soon. We're going to do that. Hopefully not on a night where there's a lot of YouTube drama going on. Just have a talk. Have a chat. Have a chat too, as the Australians would say. There you go. A little beer burp for you. And only for you, my friends in Grind HQ. All right, so we got about 10 minutes left for the stream. We like to keep these 90 minutes. If there's anything you want to talk about, any questions you want to ask, if you want me to get one of those toys off the shelf to show you, I can do that. That's a thing now. Trying to see if there's anything that's handy that y'all haven't seen before. I mean, most of this stuff you've seen. I guess a lot of it, Drama, the YouTube toy space? Never. It's true. That's right. Toys, music, and beer. And because of the way that I can set up my StreamYard, I can actually play you some music if you want to hear it. Can't do it on live streams the way I want to because, one, it sounds weird, and two, copyright's a thing. It's a whole thing, you guys. So we try to avoid that shit as much as we can. Well, I have crappy internet too, Bjorn. So if it is something you want to do, I'd be happy to bring you on and get to know you better. It'd be no problem. Jim Salzberg says, I love a new look. Happy getting some comfortable space. Me too. Moving the bed to create just extra floor space. I know how trivial that's going to sound to some of you that have larger spaces. It even sounds trivial to me. But like today, I was taking stuff out to my car to take the storage. I'll probably go tomorrow. And just being able to pick it up and walk out the door, not trip over myself or anything else in that process. For a long time, I had this Elgato green screen, which is like in a metal case. Okay, kind of like the projector screens when we were kids, but it works in reverse. And it had been at the foot of that bed for 2 years because at first, before I got this bigger chair, I would use that when I was streaming on Twitch before I got the job that I did now and stuff like that. And I got a better chair. Well, it doesn't fit back there anymore, and I could technically use it now, but why? Like the screen that I have flips. Um, so I have green or blue, and it's something that it's just easier for me to do with the one. So I just put that in storage to not stub my toe every 8 seconds. It's great. Gerard asks if the Hush figures are worth the paper. I think that they are. As a spoiler, but I did a review of those two figures here on the channel. So after the show, if you just go to my channel and search for the word Hush, you'll be able to see what I think of those and see the figures in all their glory. But yes, I think they're really good. Bill did a video with WWE figures and got struck by WWE. God, they're weird about that, dude. They're really weird about that. World by Cardboard says, any questions? Two trains leaving New York heading in the same direction, but one traveling 5 miles per hour faster than the other. How much time passes before they are 100 miles apart? A lot. That's all I know. I'm not doing algebra right now, but thanks. Jason Garcia says, I look at your space now and I think, how did two people get in there? That's a good question. Like sardines in a can. It was very difficult. And also consider there was less floor space. So I was more or less always sitting at that kitchenette table, and Suze was always in the bed. She just sat in the bed. That's the only space she had to be. But since she has moved out, she is living with her parents in a little bit further south, not far. But from what I understand, she's doing very, very, very well. And I'm sure that she appreciates any well wishes that you have for her. So, but I'm glad to hear that she's doing well. I'm doing well. All is well. Well. Fortunately, unable to move at the moment because of my job. Well, I mean, you don't have to. I get where you're coming from on the internet thing. I know how frustrating that can be, believe me. But StreamYard is pretty good at working with bad internet connections. So, even if you were to use it for your own streams, it probably would work. Because right now, like, I'm having problems with the internet. I had to call the tech support for the network, and they're working on it as we speak. To the point where sometimes loading stuff works, sometimes it doesn't. And this whole stream has been up, knock on wood, without any major problems. So I think that poor internet can work. Bill says, my studio in the den is a wrecked total hoarder's room. Yeah, which is more or less what this is. I know it looks a lot cleaner, and that I gotta get rid of that corner with all that linen. But it's just what it is. They give you linen when you in. I mean, hello, it's a hotel. I gotta get all that stuff, put it in a bag, and get it out of my face. And I'll probably I doubt you can see right there is a wheel for utility dolly. It'll probably go in that corner. I don't know. What I might even do, if I can get the measurements, and this is going to sound crazy to you guys, but I might try to find a small little table that'll fit in that corner, just so I can put a few more toys over there. So it's, high enough, right? Might work. I don't know. We'll see. Still working on your channel. I have a long way to go. I'm still learning. And, dude, I've been doing YouTube in one form or another for 16 years. And I've been doing streaming for 10 years, on and off, consistently for 8 years this fall. So anything you need to know, any mistakes you want to avoid, whether it's equipment, techniques, software, let me know. That goes for all of you. If you guys want to get into this stuff and you need to solve some problems and you don't like doing the research yourself, hit me up. I'm pretty good at this stuff. I'm not the best show on the internet, but I know how to do more with less, is what I'm saying. That's for sure. Bill says, I have internet through my cable provider. Every time a dog pees in the light pole, cable internet go out. Oof. I had that problem in one place that I was living, and they come to find out that, like, down the street, the cable was frayed, like it was exposed, and literally when it rained, it would get in the cable and fritz everything up. And they had to replace, like, I don't know, like a quarter mile of cable. When they finally did that, everything was fine, and they fixed it just in time, right when I was about to move out. Ugh, crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Need to find someone to make a digital version of your logo. That's not difficult. If you have a Twitter account or an Instagram account, there's plenty of creators in the space. Twitter's really a lot easier to do that with. There's tons of digital artists out there, man, for sure. If I need a way for a life, I'll take the life. Ignore that linen. There you go. Jody's a good option too. I didn't know that he did a lot of digital art. I didn't know that. But if he does, he's certainly a guy that would do a good job for you. Absolutely. Well, I think we're about to that time, folks. I really appreciate you on short notice moving this over to a day. We'll be back to Mondays next week. And I know I've been saying this the last few streams, but now I really mean it because I don't have any excuses now. Videos coming this week. I'm going to have a Batman review out. The Motu Troop Builder is going to come out this week as well. I'll be filming some other stuff, and the idea is going to be to have stuff scheduled well in advance and start getting to a point where I have enough of a backlog of toy-related stuff. I can then get into more of the thought pieces, get a bunch of those shot and edited, ready to go. And when I get to that place where I've got a couple weeks kind of saved up, I'll be able to film at a more relaxed pace. The idea is to work really hard for a couple weeks, get a bunch of stuff ready, and then just film 1 or 2 things a week and just keep feeding the beast, so to speak. So that's what I'm hoping for, and I hope you'll wish me good luck. In the meantime, I hope you guys go over to Bill Wifta's channel and Gojatron's channel and everyone else's channel and watch some great stuff. I love you guys. I'll see you on Monday at the latest. If I don't see you for a premiere of one of these videos coming out this week. I appreciate you. Thanks for everything. I love you. Good night.